Good evening, and once again, we welcome you into the Bulldog Digital Network. Our 10th season on the air begins here tonight from James L. Robb Gymnasium. Jared Wright bringing you the play-by-play action as it's the Tennessee Wesleyan women that get the season started here first at home against a former Appalachian Athletic Conference counterpart in Point University, making the trip up from West Point, Georgia. The Lady Skyhawks under Alexis Tate in her second season. She is a former assistant from Point as well, and in her second season here for the Lady Skyhawks, brings her team in. They have played 3 games, so this will be their 4th game of the year already, and the Lady Bulldogs getting action in their first ball game of the year here at home. They did have one on Saturday that was canceled, and unfortunately just couldn't get it started. They did have an exhibition matchup against Tennessee Tech earlier this season as well, and have played some other matchups in exhibition, but it is the starting opening night for basketball here at Tennessee Wesleyan University. Men will not be in action until next week, but the Lady Bulldogs under Jason Smith in his second season looking to start this campaign off with a win against Point University. They were picked preseason 6th in the conference standings, and it was Point picked preseason 9th in their Southern States Athletic Conference. So we will pause for the national anthem right here. National anthem taken care of as we get set for the starting lineups here on Dwayne Farmer and Stan Harrison court. So very touching tribute to former women's basketball coach Stan Harrison, Hall of Famer, and not only Tennessee Wesleyan and numerous other organizations, but also NAI Hall of Famer. And he retired this past spring, and they honored him. And so Coach Harrison and Coach Farmer's names adorn the court here at James L. Robb this year and for the future as well. So, again, let's look at your starting lineups here. Point University, they will start number 3, Anaya Wesley, a 5'5" sophomore guard from Waycross, Georgia. Number 5, Zariah Fannin, a 5'6" junior guard, averages 8.3 points per game from Alabama. Number 12, Zia Flowers, 5'10" freshman guard, 6 points per game from Statesboro, Georgia. Number 15, Alicia Donaldson, 5'7" freshman guard from Gwynn, Alabama. And then 22, a junior, Madison Nesbitt, 5'9" guard. She hails from Tony, Alabama. Coach Tate assisted by Destiny Thurman in her second season as well. On the other side for the Lady Bulldogs, it's Jason Smith, assisted by Jaron Tall in his second season. They will start number 1, Sloan Carpenter, the 5'6" sophomore guard from Bradley Central High School in Cleveland, Tennessee. Number 2, Tally Lawson, 5'7" junior guard from Decatur, Tennessee. Number 3, 5'10" sophomore forward is Julia Howard from Decatur, Tennessee as well. Number 12, 5'5" freshman guard Cameron Brown from Sevierville, Tennessee. And then 23, Jalea Lindsay, the 5'9" sophomore forward from Cleveland, Tennessee, played at Walker Valley High School. She got a lot of minutes as a freshman last year for Coach Smith and his ball club. Lady Bulldogs returned 6 off of the roster from last year, 6 out of 12. So half the roster returns. They did lose a big chunk and a big senior class with 4, or at least 3 or 4 from Meigs County, and then you had the Bates twins from Northview Academy, which is exactly where Cameron Brown played her prep ball at as well. So we get set here. Point has won the last 3 in this matchup, but that was back in 2022-2023 season. Point, their last year in the Appalachian Athletic Conference was that year, and they went on to win the conference title on the women's side. The Lady Bulldogs have not won since February of 22 against the Skyhawks here at home, 72-54, 18-point victory. It is Tennessee Wesleyan's ball off the jump, and they will open and then turn it over, trying to get a pass down low to Howard, and it's picked off here. Moving it up the floor, it's going to be Wesley. They go inside. Spins into a double team, lost the ball there. Shot up for Flowers, no good. Lawson's going to corral it up quickly to her high school teammate in Howard. Now Carpenter from the free throw line, out to Lindsay, pulls the triple, and it's in there. Lady Bulldogs will take the 3-0 lead here to start the ball game. Off of the 3 by Lindsay. Man-to-man by the Lady Bulldogs. Up top with it, it's going to be Donaldson. Donaldson works it to the left side, gets it to Fannin. Fannin down low, it goes to Flowers. Flowers making a post move, trying to get free of Howard. Howard deflects it out of bounds, 2 to shoot on the shot clock. It'll be inbounded underneath here by the Lady Skyhawks. It'll be Donaldson to key it in. Looking, outlet pass to the front, comes out to Fannin. She'll pull the 3, and she hits it. So Point ties us up. Actually, they're going to say it's a 2. Scoreboard says a 2, but nope, they corrected it. It's a 3. Lady Bulldogs miss an opportunity to take the lead back. Inside goes Flowers, high off the glass, no good. Lawson collects it. She'll push it up. Bounce pass up to Howard. May have been deflected off a hip of the Skyhawks. Here goes Lawson. Gets free to the right side off the glass and good for Tally Lawson. Number 2 for 2. Lady Bulldogs back in front. Inside feed, it goes to Flowers once again. Their offense running completely through Flowers down low. Now a jump ball signal that will stay with Point. As Lindsay, got in there and tied that one up. 8:05 to play here in the first quarter of action. Again, first broadcast on the Bulldog Digital Network this season. Plan to bring you every home basketball game that we can, men's and women's. So now they're trying to work out the shot clock reset here. So everybody getting back into the swing of things here for basketball season. Lady Bulldogs repping some new uniforms out there. All white uniforms trimmed in royal blue. White numbers trimmed in royal blue. Bulldogs emblazoned across the chest as well. A little Bulldog logo on the hip. And then a little saw-looking pattern on the bottom of the shorts. 3-pointer up and good for Flowers from the other side, and Point takes their first lead of the ball game here. Wesleyan seeing some backcourt pressure. Up into the front court goes Brown. Brown's pass deflected, picked off. Here comes Wesley. Wesley has it stolen away from her by Lawson. Lawson quickly outlet to Carpenter. Carpenter over to Brown. Brown pops the long 2, and it's in there, and Lady Bulldogs will regain the lead, 7-6 here. Back and forth the lead goes. Again, don't let the record fool you. Lady Skyhawks 0-3 on the season, but they've lost to Talladega, Cumberland, and then Arkansas Baptist. Shot inside. Wesley off the mark. A lot of contact. Here comes Lindsay up the full court, and Lindsay lays it in. 9-6. Lady Bulldogs in front with 7:05 to go in the first. Donaldson brings it up the court, gets it left side. Shot up by Fannin, 3-pointer way off the mark. Ball tips around, and it's going to go out of bounds to the Lady Bulldogs. Substitution coming in here for the Skyhawks, and it will be Zariah Johnson, the one of the 2 seniors on this ball club. She averages 11 points a game from Montgomery, Alabama. She'll replace Flowers. Lady Bulldogs Howard gets it into Lindsay. A nice little backdoor cut. And the assist to Howard. The Lady Bulldogs lead it by 5, their largest lead of the ball game. Wesleyan going to get a substitution coming to the table. There's a drive. Baseline. Ball picked off here by Brown. She'll bring it up across midcourt. The Bulldog logo at midcourt. Trying to take it coast to coast. And there's going to be a foul called on number 15, Alicia Donaldson, her first, team first. Pass out to Brown. Brown shoots it off the back iron. It corrals to the near side. Here's a shot up and off the mark on the left side by Thomas. Fallon Thomas that checked in. Brown gets the outlet pass. Gets overplayed, but then draws the travel call. Tried to keep that pivot foot down, couldn't do it. Lady Bulldogs get number 35, their lone senior, Courtney Berry. That was Courtney Farr last year, 6-foot senior forward from Benton, Tennessee. She'll check into the post to guard Johnson. Trying to give it down to Johnson. She does. Back to the basket. Goes into the middle of the lane. Sky hook is good. And it's still a Wesleyan lead, but it's down to 3. 5:32 to go. Clock stops. We apologize online. We'll try to get the clock working for you. So Wesleyan gets another substitution in. Jordan White, number 10, 5'4" freshman guard from Kodak, Tennessee, also a Northview Academy alum. She gets the offensive rebound off the miss by Lawson. Brown back to Lawson. Lawson inside. Blocked there by Johnson. Just a height advantage wins out. Here comes Wesleyan transition. She'll kick it near corner to Thomas. Thomas drops it down low to Johnson. Double team. Kicks it back out to Thomas, correction. Shot clock down to 12. Three-pointer up, no good. Ball might have got deflected. Nope, they will say it's clean. It's a Wesleyan ball off of the miss. Now 14, Aubrey Long, 5'7" junior guard from Benton, Tennessee as well, will check in here for the Lady Bulldogs. So you got Lawson, you got White, Lindsay, Berry, and Long out there for Tennessee Wesleyan. Up top, Lawson gets it to high post to Berry. Berry pops the triple off to the left side. It goes off the rim, and that ball will just carry them into the side, and we have got our first media timeout of the season. So we'll be right back here on the Bulldog Digital Network. Out of the media timeout. That's a new rule this year. We've had the media timeouts in the past, even at the NAIA level, but kind of revamped the way they're doing them this year. So we'll try to keep an eye on that all season. But Under 5 timeout was that one called there. Here's Point with the ball. Lindsay collects it off the miss inside. Lindsay will bring it to the near wing. Skips it up top to Lawson. Now to Barry. Barry at the elbow extended. Popped out a little bit. Here goes Lawson off the give and go. Back to Barry it goes. Barry thought about the three. Now it's poked away by the Skyhawks. Donaldson. She'll push the pace. Reverse layup, no good. Good hustle back there by White. Deflected the shot. Lindsay from a corner three. Airballs that one, unfortunately. She hit one to start the game. Thought she was going to be able to knock that one down. Here's Thomas working against Long. Thomas circles around the screen from Johnson. Pass deflected. Lawson picks it up. Lawson trying to take it all the way down the left side. Draws the contact. She'll get 2 free throws coming her way. And that one is going to be Fallon Thomas, her first, team third already. Actually, it's got her second one correction there. And so Lawson stepping to the line. First trip there this season. Rattles the first one home, and it's 12-8. Almost 2 minutes without scoring by either team. And Lawson converts both. Back to a 5-point game for the Lady Bulldogs. Get a stop here. Down low, this one's going to be foul on Nia Wesley, her first, team fourth of the quarter. So Wesleyan is going to have 2 more free throws. First one is missed. .34 Leslie Jamez, 5'11" freshman forward from Decatur, Alabama. 1 of 2 at the line. Does give Wesleyan a 6-point lead, their largest now of the ball game. Donaldson comes left wing. Drops it there to Nesbitt. Nesbitt drives, pass picked off. Here comes the Lady Bulldogs with it. Lawson, 3 minutes to go in the first. Crosses over at midcourt. Another crossover, good screen from Barry. Kicks out to White. White back to Barry. She'll pull the three at the top of the key, and it's in there. 9-point advantage for the Lady Bulldogs. Donaldson takes it right wing, guarded by Long. Quick on the defensive pressure, and then looked like it's going to be poked away. So they're trying to work it back inside the Flowers. Haynes gets her first, team first. Lawson will exit, Lindsay back in. Inbounds coming off of the hands of Wesley. Wesley gets it into the far corner, gets it right back on the low block. Back to the basket. Spin move, a little turnaround jumper off the mark. Barry had it kind of poked away from behind, jump ball. We'll send it to Tennessee Wesleyan's direction. Courtney really battling for that rebound, had it kind of taken away as she had somebody hanging on her shoulders. Here's White up the floor. Drives left block, kicks it out top of the key. Aims for three, in and out, no good. Rebound comes off to Wesley. She'll push it up the floor, Nia Wesley. Gets it into the right wing, then takes it to the right side and gets tripped up on her way in. This one's going to be on Courtney Berry, her first. Team second. Wesley misses the first free throw. Howard at the scorer's table. As Wesley's second free throw no good, and that one's poked out of bounds there by Johnson. Berry, Ames will exit. Lawson and Howard back in. Going to need some help as full court pressure applied. White gets the inbounds. 2:10 to play first quarter. Lady Bulldogs up 17-8 in the regular season opener. High bounce pass to Howard at the left side. Gets it to Lawson. Lawson, no look bounce pass. They're going to call Howard for the travel instead. That one looked clean. Bounce pass came to Howard. She let it bounce, collected it, and was set up for a free throw, 15-footer, but that one wipes two off the board. Under 2 minutes to go here, first quarter of action. Wesley sends it left side. Drive by Flowers, blocked by Lindsay, and it goes out of bounds off of Flowers. Good job by Jalea Lindsay. And she was such a bright spot last year for the Lady Bulldogs. Getting a lot of minutes and playing time as a freshman, third leading scorer on the team. She had 11.6 as the average. Three-pointer by Lawson, high off the rim, rebounded, collected here by Fannin. She'll push it up the left side of the floor. Sends a pass wide side to Wesley. Wesley comes back near side. Johnson gets it down low, trying to shove Howard out of the way. Ball missed and over the back on the rebound. Technically not the call, but it's going to be a push, is what they call it. For all those basketball fans listening at home, it's over the back is not in the rule book. It's technically a push, and the fifth team foul will send Julia Howard to the stripe. The returners for last year, looking at them, when you graduated the Crowder twins, Jacelyn Stone and J.C. Powell, and the Bates twins, and Jordan McCullough. You had a lot there as the first free throw is good, and it's a double-digit lead for Tennessee Wesleyan. So you lose your top two scorers. And then Tally Lawson, other returner in the top five scoring. She had 6 points per game. Courtney Farr averaged just under 4. Howard 3 points per game. You got Phillips and Long, who played sparing minutes last year. Now a travel going to be called on the Skyhawks. Lady Bulldogs continuing to push this largest lead of the ball game. A minute to go here in the first half. Drive here by White. Lost the handle, regains it. Finds it in the far corner to Lawson. Lawson to White. Now to Lindsay. Lindsay's three-pointer no good. Chased the long rebound, but it gets deflected right past her. She'll recover defensively. Trying to help get a stop here against Nesbitt, and the charge is called on Points Nesbitt. Her first player control foul, so no free throws coming here. Shot clock will reset to 30 seconds. 35.6 showing on the game clock. White, Jordan White, bringing it up the floor from Northview Academy. Howard, high post, gets it back to White, off the back screen. Here's Lawson, top of the key, works it. Getting pressure applied there by Donaldson. High screen from Howard. Looks to White. White between two defenders. Layup off the glass is good. Nice little drive there by Jordan White. Lady Bulldogs lead it 21-8, 13-point advantage. And Donaldson not even going to get a shot off. The Lady Bulldogs over the last 3:44 the quarter scored 10 unanswered points. We'll head to the second quarter here on the Bulldog Digital Network. Lady Bulldogs close out the first quarter on a 10-0 run over the final 3:44 there. It'll be point to start with the ball. Donaldson controlling it. Johnson up top gets a high screen. Over to Wesley in the corner it goes. And the point will end the scoring drought there. Still 10-point lead, though, for the Lady Bulldogs. 21-11. Lawson has it poked away. Lost the handle. Nesbitt pushing the pace. Carpenter trying to catch up. Might have got deflected. Offensive board, though, by Flowers. Putback is good and draws the foul here against Howard. Julia Howard going to pick up her first, team first of the quarter. It's an and one opportunity coming here for the Lady Skyhawks. Cuts it down to a single-digit game. And Flowers converts three-point play. These are Flowers. Now Howard gets it over to Lindsay across the time stripe. Lindsay controlling it, working near the midcourt circles. Howard went opposite of the screen for Lindsay. Bad shot taken, blocked there. Now Donaldson trying to find some help as she picked up her dribble. Three-pointer up and on the way off the mark there by Fannin. Trying to make quick work here. Lady Skyhawks scored the first 6 points. Here's a three by Cameron Brown, though, to push it back to a double-digit lead here for Tennessee Wesleyan. Coach Jason Smith, his second year here at Wesleyan, but a familiar face in the NAI and the AAC, and then a travel called here on point. But led the Lady Bulldogs in his first season all the way to the conference championship game last year. They lost in overtime to eventual champion Milligan, and also won the regular season, but 79-75 was that final score. So the goal is Kingsport every year, and then see what you can do. As he's told us numerous times last year. The Lady Bulldogs looking good here through the first quarter and early second quarter. And so Howard's going to pick up her second foul as soon as we start talking positive about him. Bulldog cheerleaders in the house, and baseline full of cheer squad down there. Good crowd here for the opening night. Tennessee Wesleyan basketball. Donaldson near corner, walks it back out to the left wing. Lob down low. Lindsay taps it away, but it ends up right into the hands of Johnson. It's been all point here in the second quarter. Wesleyan still clinging to an 8-point lead, 24-16. Berry with it at the elbow, gets it back to Brown. She'll pull the long two, missed it. Ball bounces straight into the hands of Wesley here. Lindsay couldn't pick that one up. Tennessee Wesleyan now shooting 44% from the field. Point shooting 28%. Left wing, Wesley poked away by Carpenter. Carpenter, sophomore here, but spent her prep ball at Bradley Central for the Bearettes. Won some state championships down there. Coach Jason Reuter. Lob down to Johnson. Johnson, quick dish into the corner, gets it to Fannin. Fannin trying to go baseline. Gets a reverse layup, attempt no good. Put back by Johnson is good. Nobody boxed her out there. And cuts it to a two-possession game. Here's Brown in transition quickly. Kicks out. Lawson's going to set up the offense. Left side to Lindsay. Top of the key to Brown. High post bounce. It goes to Berry. Berry kicks it out to Lindsay. 10 to shoot. Lindsay behind the arc. Picks up her dribble. Gets it to Berry. Berry gets Johnson to move. Spins middle. Nice little post move. And Courtney Berry with the lay-in on the right side. Put Johnson on some skates right there. Got the little up and under move on the low block. Comes left side here to Wesley. He's got Lawson guarding her. Up top, It's going to be Flowers. She works it right side. Trying to take Lindsay one-on-one. Shot off the mark. Coach Tate wanting the foul call, nothing. Here comes Brown. Over to Lawson, left wide open for a three, and it's in there. The Lady Bulldogs have decided to start playing once again. It's back to a double-digit lead at 29-18 with a timeout by Point on the court. It will be a media timeout. We'll be back in 60 seconds. Back in 60. Out of the timeout by Point. It's a media timeout. So the Point's ball, walking it up the floor. Left side, Wesley lobbing it down to Johnson. And Barry's going to get called for the foul here, just trying to position her out and going to get called for a sweep. Barry's going to pick up her second, team third here in the quarter. Inbounds coming from Donaldson. Shot clock reset to 20. Now a foul underneath, and it's going to be an offensive foul. This one's going to be on Wesley. Wesley's going to pick up her second, team first. So you've got Thomas with 2, Wesley with 2. Double check some of these as well. Wesleyan with Barry with 2 and Howard with 2, so they're post players. Wesleyan with both of the post players with 2 fouls apiece. Here's Tally Lawson up top of the key. Quick crossover, gets to the right block, goes up and going to get fouled on the side of the head, the official says. I believe it was clean block, yes, by Fannin, but it's going to be Thomas that gets called for the foul, her third. So Lawson back to the line. First one does get the home roll. And Lawson converts both, 31-18. Lady Bulldogs tie their largest lead of the ball game here. Point has it swiped away. Good save there by Brown underneath. Here's Carpenter. Carpenter back to Brown, going to try to reward her. She might have got away with a travel. Here's a kick out. Ames for 3, missed it, airballs it out of bounds. So got the turnover, just couldn't get the finish on the other end by the Lady Bulldogs here. Donaldson going to bring it up the floor. Lawson leading the Lady Bulldogs with 10. It's going to be Flowers and Johnson with 6 apiece. And they line up on the left side of the lane here. Point trying to work it to him. It's going to be deflected by Brown. Game clock at 5:05. Shot clock at 18 as Donaldson's going to be the one to inbound it on the side. Before that, it's going to be Nesbitt to check in. Could say both of these teams are very young. Only 3 upperclassmen as far as seniors go amongst both teams. Sky hook by Johnson, no good. Got it on board, still no good. Brown picks up the loose rebound off the second miss. Over to Lawson. Lawson, they've got numbers momentarily. Lawson bumped in the lane, kicks it to Carpenter for three, and that ball wedges between the rim and the backboard, and possession arrow will give it to Tennessee Wesleyan, or keep it here, actually. Shot clock will reset to, or it'll stay at 21. No, actually, it will go to 20 seconds. So Wesleyan's going to inbound it underneath. Carpenter's down there ready to go. .450 to play, 31-18. Lady Bulldogs in front by 13. Second time they've been there. Inbounds pass swiped here by Donaldson. Donaldson pushes it right block, and then Brown says, hey, I'll take that right back. Brown up the floor, it goes to Haynes. Spin, dropping it to Lindsay, misplayed. Picked back up by Tennessee Wesleyan, though. They'll kind of reset here. Shot up by Haynes, and it's in there. Lady Bulldogs expand that largest lead to 16. Donaldson's going to slow the pace near midcourt. Long coming back to the scorer's table for Tennessee Wesleyan. Donaldson goes straight to the rack on the right side, missed it. Ball out of bounds off of Wesleyan on the rebound. And so Long and White return here for Tennessee Wesleyan. They will replace Lawson and Carpenter. Inbound coming here from Donaldson. And it goes to Fannin. Fannin's three is good. 34-21 here. As that ends 10-0 run once again by Tennessee Wesleyan. Two 10-0 runs here by the Lady Bulldogs. Air ball here by Brown. She knew it. Frustrated with herself, covered her mouth in frustration. Donaldson has it swiped by Brown. Good hustle by Cameron Brown. A couple of steals already. Possession arrow keeps it with point. Loose ball on the ground. 3:37 to play. Flowers having to adjust the knee brace. Now Sheila Lee, the other senior for Johnson, or for Point, will check in for Johnson. 6-foot senior out of Georgetown, Texas. Number 33, she'll sub in. Lindsay guarding her right here. Donaldson gets the inbounds, chases it down. Works it near side of the floor. Now has a high screen, gets her free momentarily, kicks it back out. Three-pointer on the way by Flowers, up high off the support. And I'm going to say it did hit the suspended support bar here. And so that'll be a flip to Tennessee Wesleyan on the floor. 3:22 to play in the first half. Quick pass up to Haynes from White. Trying to get a pass inside to Cutting Long, and now Brown trying to save it, and it's going to be a turnover anyway on Tennessee Wesleyan. Brown hustled to try to save it. Ended up going out of over and back. And so it will be Point's ball on the side. They've got three players with 6 points apiece. Fannin, Flowers, and Johnson. Fannin's done it with 2 3-pointers of her credit. Wesleyan shooting 45.8%. Point shooting 27.6. Missed 3 there. Here comes White. White pushing it. A little skip pass to Long across the lane. Here comes Lindsay. Elbow extended on the 15-footer. Off the mark. 2:45 to play. Wesleyan still in front, 34-21. Fannin takes it off the left side, had a screen, had it poked away. She regains it and puts it in. Good awareness there by Fannin to even be able to get that as Wesleyan had poked it away. Ames on the other end says she'll take another 3. Back-to-back threes for her. Sandwiching the 4 points, or 5 points by Point. And then it's going to be an answer right back, though, on Point side by Fannin. 10-point or 11-point game. Shot inside, no good by Wesleyan. Rebound comes off to Lee. She'll clear it out to Fannin. Fannin across midcourt. Looking for the high screen from Lee. Trying to go left side of it. She does. Long anticipates it, cuts it off well. Switch off. Lindsay picks up Flowers on the drive. Flowers gets fouled on the shot. Lindsay, if she goes straight up, I think she might get away with it. But brought that arm down, and so with 1:33 remaining in the half, it's going to be a two-shot foul coming for Flowers, who's 8 of 15 at the line on the season. Lindsay's going to pick up her first. Lawson returns here for Tennessee Wesleyan. Jordan White having a conversation with Coach Smith here on the sideline. Missed by Flowers here on the first free throw. Wesleyan had been on a 10-0 run. Then Point scores 5 straight. Wesleyan adds another 3, and then Point added another 3 right after that. Here's Lawson, gets the miss, so 0 for 2 at the line for Flowers. Minute 27 to go as Wesleyan sets up the half court. Left side, Lindsay. Lindsay, little running jumper in the lane is good for Jalea Lindsay. 13-point advantage once again. Wesleyan's led by as many as 16 here in the first half of action. Step back 3 for Fannin. It's short. Ball tipped up. Long able to corral it off the tip by Lawson. Here comes White quickly calling out the play. Trying to get her teammates to move. Nice cut down the middle of the lane by Long. And she's got the easy bucket. Assist to White. 41-26. Fannin brings it left side. Looks to Donaldson. Donaldson lobs it down low to Lee, and it's blocked again. Second block by Jalea Lindsay. That one out of bounds as well. 29.6 remaining. Shot clock at 10. Wesleyan can get possession. They can hold it for the last shot of the second quarter. Long lob into the front court goes to Nesbitt. Nesbitt, 7 to shoot. Gets a high screen, kicks it over. Flowers thought about the 3, missed it. Passed up on it, and then a foul at the very end of the shot clock on White. Maybe a freshman mistake there, but trying to close out on an attempted shot there by Fannin, who has knocked down a couple of 3-pointers. She's already at 11, knocking down 3 of them to be exact. She'll spend her first trip at the charity stripe. First one is good. 19.7 seconds remaining. Coach Alexis Tate facing the sideline over here. There's junior guard at the line, leading all scorers with now 12 points. Make that 13. And it is a 13-point advantage for Tennessee Wesleyan. White going to push the pace quickly to the front court. Coach Smith, I think, trying to call out one shot. Want them to take one shot, but Wesleyan with 6 seconds. Lindsay goes in. A reverse layup is good by Jalea Lindsay. Took it off the dribble and pushes the lead at the half. 43-28, Tennessee Wesleyan. Trying to extend this into a win to start their 2025-2026 season against a former conference opponent in Point University. Again, Lady Bulldogs lead it 43-28 here at the half. We're going to take a break and then be back just before the start of the third quarter here from James L. Robb Gymnasium. Welcome back to the Bulldog Digital Network. Lady Bulldogs out of the halftime break, lead it 43-28 over Point, looking for their first win of the season. Jared Wright bringing you the action here from James L. Robb Gymnasium. Dwayne Farmer and Stan Harrison court. Leading scorers, Fannin, it's Zariah Fannin with 16 points. She's 4 of 7 from behind the arc for Point. And the other double-figure scorers are two Lady Bulldogs, Jalea Lindsay with 11. She's 5 of 9 from the floor. 1 of 3 behind the arc, a rebound. She does have 1 foul to her credit. And then Tally Lawson, 10 points for the Meigs County native. 10 of 5 from the field, 1 of 3 behind the arc. And she is 5 of 6 from the charity stripe. She also has 7 rebounds from that point guard position and 2 assists. So start of the third quarter here. Lady Bulldogs with the basketball. Controlling it up top is Carpenter. Carpenter gets stuck at the high post, drops it over to Brown. Brown looking. Brown gonna pull the 3 to start the third. Missed it. Lawson collects her 8th rebound. And then the tie up inside between her and Wesley will give it to Point. Here's Wesley on a high screen, double high screen, goes right side. Now it's going to be Johnson dropping it over to Nesbitt. Nesbitt just inside the free throw line, jumper off the mark. Johnson comes flying in for the offensive board and going to get the shooting foul called against Tennessee Wesleyan's Jalea Lindsay. Her second, team first. And so Johnson at the strike. She's got 6 points on the night. First trip there, she knocks down the first one. So Lady Skyhawks strike first. And she converts both. 43-28. Full court press shown. And then the shot clock didn't reset. So they'll reset that and restart it. Yep. So we'll knock 4 seconds off of it. Bounce pass into Carpenter. She's going to run the point. Gets across midcourt. Anticipating a double team. She comes left side to Lindsay. Inside it goes to Howard. Howard back out to Carpenter. Here goes Brown off a left wing drive. Gets to the top of the key. Still looking. Brown takes it, hands it off to Carpenter. Shot clock at 5, 4. Carpenter drives, layup, blocked, and the foul. I believe this is, we'll see if it's on 12 or 22. It's going to be on 22, Madison Nesbitt. Her second, team first of the quarter. Point came into this game averaging 54 points on the season. Averaging 32% from the field. They're shooting 28% to start it. Lady Bulldogs, of course, their first game of the year. They're averaging 48% from the field right now. Through the first half, at least. First free throw is good. Second one is also good by Carpenter. Shot off the mark. Rebound pulled down by Brown. Lady Bulldogs send it left corner. Lindsay goes baseline, but she's going to step out of bounds on the sideline. So she'll toss the ball back to Greg Guerin, the official. Fellow Bradley County guy. Out there with Lindsay, who grew up in the Cleveland area, went to Walker Valley, and then Carpenter playing at Bradley Central. Calling out the signals is Anaya Wesley. Double high screen again. She's cut off by Wesleyan's Howard and Brown. Lindsay down low. Lawson just took the ball away, but then it winds up straight into the hands of number 5, Fannin. Blocked down low by Johnson against Brown. 13-point advantage. Wesleyan led by 16 with 4:21 left in the second quarter. Inbounds comes to Lawson. Bounce pass back to Carpenter off the inbounds, and Carpenter going to get blocked on the shot. And that one's going to be called on Flowers. It's going to be her first, team second. Lady Bulldogs 19-18 currently in favor of the rebounds. Carpenter makes both free throws. Barry's going to check in here for Tennessee Wesleyan. Speaking of Barry, just chatted off the air at halftime with head baseball coach Billy Barry. Also head softball coach Toby Brooks. Both of those guys sitting over here in the corner of James L. Robb watching Lady Bulldogs get their season started. Here's a missed shot by Point collected by Brown. Of course, the baseball facility getting upgraded. Tennessee Wesleyan softball being out at the Athens City Regional Park is undergoing a turf infield as well, put on by the city of Athens. So Coach Brooks's crew will have a new playing surface in the spring as well. Another foul here on Flowers, team third already. Inbounds coming from Carpenter, 7:18 to play. Three-pointer up and missed by Barry. Rebound on the offensive side. Carpenter missed it. Lindsay tried to keep it alive, but tips it right to Wesley. Wesleyan recovers extremely well, momentarily at least. Wesley going to back it up here, working against Carpenter. Johnson looked like she's going to set a high screen. Corner three on the far side, no good. Lindsay trying to get the rebound. Flowers reaches a little bit long. Now Lawson steps in front of the pass. She's got an easy lay-in on the left side, and it's good for Tally Lawson. 17-point lead for Tennessee Wesleyan, the largest of the evening. And timeout called here, and it's a full media timeout with the floating timeout called here by Point. Wesleyan up 49-32. We'll be back in 60 seconds. Back here on the Bulldog Digital Network, Lady Bulldogs leading it 49-32. Their biggest lead of the ball game forced the Point timeout, which turned into a media timeout. Now Point trying to climb back into that, or claw back into the deficit, and they turn it over here on their front court. So Lawson going to inbound it far side, trying to get into White. Good crowd here on hand for the opening night, and especially without the doubleheader. The men of Tennessee Wesleyan basketball sitting in the left corner over here behind the home bench, watching the Lady Bulldogs get their season started. Here's Barry for three, off the mark. Lindsay chasing down the long offensive rebound, throws it over the shoulder, but then right into the hands it goes to Donaldson. Donaldson skips it left side, works it over to Fannin. Fannin back up top to Donaldson. Game clock at 5:50 here in the third. Left side, Fannin, now to Donaldson. Kind of calling for Johnson to come across, but she stays on the near block. Wesley crossover, kicks it out to Fannin. Shot clock at 1. They force a shot, and that'll be a violation and send it Tennessee Wesleyan's way. So White, and the freshman from Sevierville, Tennessee. Sorry, from Kodak, just next door to Sevierville, but played at Northview Academy there in Kodak. Here's Barry on a drive, up and under, got Johnson on the post move, but couldn't draw the foul on that one. Johnson bit on the pump fake. Pass deflected out, now picked up. Missed shot off the mark there by points. Carmen Bridges, who's checked in, the junior forward from Annette, Alabama. Here's Lawson, goes into the side, no look pass near corner, comes to Brown. She missed it. Lawson, an offensive rebound, gets to the right side and scores off the glass. Took that all the way around. It's 51-32. 19-point advantage, the largest here for the Lady Bulldogs. Point with it out front. Nia Wesley sends it to Donaldson. Donaldson looking around. Now Johnson, ball above her head. She'll pull the triple. In and out it goes. Rebound collected by White. White's going to push the pace. She's passed 3 Skyhawks. Looking for some help. Gets it to Lawson, and Lawson's going to travel. Just a quick shuffle. And we've got another media timeout here on the Bulldog Digital Network. We'll be right back in 60 seconds. Back here on the Bulldog Digital Network, Jared Wright bringing you the play-by-play as we get the 2025-26 season started here in our 10th year of bringing you play-by-play coverage. We've had radio coverage, live streaming coverage here for the last decade, or a little bit more for radio coverage as well. It's going to be Wesley out front with it, guarded by White. Tennessee Wesleyan has Lindsay, White, Long, Lawson, and Barry in there. Looks like a charge, and it is going to be a charge. Aubrey Long putting the body on the line and draws the charge. And that one's going to be on Nia Wesley, her third. $18 points by Fannin. Lady Bulldogs being led here by Lawson with 14. White controlling it. Lawson 1 rebound away from a double-double in the opening campaign. Hames checks in. Ball stolen here by Donaldson. She's got a easy fast break for the lay-in out of the timeout. for the first basket. After the media timeout. Here's White, gets stuck. Lawson goes inside, blocked there by Johnson. Took a hard fall to the deck. She's back up. Wesley, a little head fake working against Long. Trying to use the crossover to get free. Now it's Donaldson calling for a screen from Johnson. Johnson instead rolls to the near block. Drive there. Poked away momentarily off the hand of Bridges. Johnson ends up with it back in the low post. 4 straight points here for the Lady Skyhawks. 51-36. Lady Bulldogs need to get something going here. Lead down to 15. Drive and dish. Ames with a 3, and it's in there. There's the bucket. Lady Bulldogs back in front by 18. 2.5 to play here in the third quarter. Lob down to Johnson. Kick back out, up top. Spin move, Bridges off the glass, no good. Hames gets the rebound, kicks it out to Lawson. Lawson into the paint, Euro step, off the rim, no good. Long gets the offensive board, kicks out to White. White running floater from the left side, just off the right of the rim. Wesleyan couldn't get the basket to fall right there. Had a couple of good looks. Johnson up top, 1:45 to go here in the third. Lindsay coming back to the scorer's table here for Lady Bulldogs. Skip pass, down low to Johnson. Back to the basket, doesn't get the roll over the rim, gets her own board, and the putback is good. 54-38. 16-point lead. Barry up top, gets it to Lawson. Lawson taking it off the dribble, gets stuck. Now here's White trying to work off of Nesbitt a little bit. Lawson with it on the right wing, 5 to shoot, and a minute to play in the third. Down low feed to Lindsay. Hames, she's blocked out of bounds. Lindsay now coming back into the scorer's table. She'll replace Lawson. Johnson will exit and Lee returns. Fannin returns for Donaldson. It was blocked out of bounds by Point, so it is Wesleyan's ball. Yeah. Coach Tate. 2 seconds to shoot. Lindsay fires the 3 at the buzzer and airballs it for a shot clock violation. So each team with a shot clock violation here in the third quarter. 53 seconds to go. 54-38. Wesleyan in front, led by as many as 19 with 4 minutes to go in this quarter. But Point has battled back, scoring 6 straight. Out of bounds off of Bridges' foot. Clock stops at 33 seconds exactly. Point's going to get Annaline Clifton in, the freshman forward from Columbus, Georgia. She'll replace Bridges. So 3 seconds differential in game and shot clock. Up to the right side, it goes to Hames, gets it to Long. Top of the key, working against Fannin. Hames left wide open for 3. Another three-pointer by Leslie Hames. Her second of the quarter and back-to-back. Lady Bulldogs back in front by 19. Their largest. Barry helping cut off a screen. Now rolling as Lee got it in the corner. 2 seconds to shoot. Three-pointer off the mark, and the Lady Bulldogs collect the rebound at the buzzer. And so at the end of the third, Tennessee Wesleyan has increased their halftime lead by 4. And it's 57-38. We'll be right back on the Bulldog Digital Network. 10 more minutes here in this opening women's basketball game from James L. Robb Gymnasium on the campus of Tennessee Wesleyan University here in Athens, Tennessee. Jared Wright bringing you all the play-by-play here this season. As the Lady Bulldogs open the final frame with the ball and a 19-point advantage over Point University, former conference foe, now part of the Southern States Athletic Conference, the SSAC. Three-pointer fired, long two, up and good here for Adeline Clifton for Point. Wesleyan with Haynes. Lindsay fires the three, and it's good. The three-pointer is good and puts it to a 20-point advantage. Point with it out front. Wesley sends it near side. Lob down low to Johnson. She's double teamed. Little help defense there by the Lady Bulldogs. Got the shot clock down to 5 for the Skyhawks. Long right on Fannin, and Fannin's going to hit the side of the backboard and get another shot clock violation here in the second half. Jordan White going to walk it up the floor. Lindsay with it, sends it near top of the key to Long. Bounce pass feed to Howard, guarded by Johnson, poked away from her. Everybody kind of gives up chase, but Leslie Haynes comes up with it for Wesleyan. Lindsay takes the three, in and out that one goes, rebound collected by Fannin. Quick outlet up to Wesley, she'll flip it back to Fannin behind her. Carpenter coming back to check in here for the Lady Bulldogs. Wesley, lob down to Johnson. Howard trying to beat her to the baseline. Draws the foul, and she makes the bucket. And that one's going to be on Julia Howard. Howard's third. So Long comes out, Howard comes out. Berry and Carpenter return here for Tennessee Wesleyan. And Johnson goes to the line. Once again here. Point shooting 50%, now below that off the miss. Wesleyan 91% from the charity stripe. Layup on the back end by Jalea Lindsay pushes that lead right back up. A little snowbird action there. Got her free for an easy layup off the missed free throw. Point didn't have the transition defense. Bounce pass, it goes outside. Long bounce pass inside. And here comes Jordan White, just rips it off the hands of Johnson. White goes in for the layup, gets fouled, takes out, well, almost takes out a cheerleader, and she'll stroll to the strike for two. Flowers picks up her third. Wesleyan's going to get Alexis Kranz into the ballgame, number 11. Another Meigs County graduate, 5'7" freshman guard. As Jordan White steps to the line, misses the first free throw. Just talked about them shooting almost 92%. Had only missed one. They were 11 of 12 before that one. Commentator's curse right there. And the second one is good. Pushes it to a 21-point game. 7:35 to go. Jumper by Flowers off the mark. Rebound ends up into the hands of Flowers after it bounces around a little bit. Fannin somehow has it roll back to her, and she knocks down the three. Fannin continues to knock down the long shots. Wesleyan missing an attempt. Now pass on the save intercepted. Lindsay trying to recover defensively. Fannin with it on the left wing. She's got 21, misses this one. Trying to get to 24 points. She was 5 of 10 before that shot. Bounce pass up to Barry. Barry kicks it over to Carpenter. Now it's going to be set up by White. Trying to bleed a little bit of clock here, up 63-45. Driving dish to Lindsay. Now Barry, she'll take the three and misses that off to the wide right. Nesbitt coming to check in. So Tally Lawson enters again for Tennessee Wesleyan. Nesbitt trying to get away, or nope, they're just trying to set up the offense here. Looked like she was trying to get away from her defender in Crayons. Left side it goes to Nesbitt. Lobs down low to Johnson. Barry, good defense straight up, forced a missed shot, and then Wesley going to pick up the shooting foul here against Tennessee Wesleyan's Carpenter. And so Wesley will step to the line. 75% shooter on the night coming into this matchup. She's 0 for 2 there tonight, though. 6:15 to play. First one is no good. Second foul on the Lady Bulldogs. Lindsay, Lawson, Hames, the leading scorers, 16, 14, and 12 for Tennessee Wesleyan. Shot is off. She had made it, but said she crossed over the free throw line, so it wipes the point off. So 63-45 it'll stay. Far side, now it comes back top of the key to Carpenter. Carpenter gets it, goes left side. Long two is good by Sloan Carpenter. Puts it back to a 20-point game. 5:50 to go, 45 for point, 65 for the Lady Bulldogs. Women's soccer team headed out. And then conference tournament action. They were here cheering on their fellow Lady Bulldogs. So underneath, 5:39 to play. It's going to be Anaya Wesley to key it in for Point University. Now we get an offensive foul, I believe, on Johnson. Yep, it's going to be on Jariah Johnson, her second, team second. So 5.5 to go. Carpenter with it out front, working against Fannin, the leading scorer for both teams. Fannin with 21. Lawson looking for help after picking up her dribble. And Coach Smith's going to call the timeout here for the Lady Bulldogs as his player got stuck without the dribble. So timeout here on the Bulldog Digital Network. We'll be right back in 30 seconds. So the timeout near the 5-minute mark for 30 seconds gets the full 60-second timeout. And Point still huddled up. Wesleyan will have the side out of bounds right in front of assistant coach Jaron Tall. It'll be Sloan Carpenter to key it in. The Lady Bulldogs mentioned they got new uniforms. They also have, looks like, Heart and Hustle emblazoned across the shoulder blades of the jerseys, and the AAC logo across the top there as well. So new uniform look, and they've got the TW for the Tennessee Wesleyan logo on the shorts, not the Bulldog that I thought earlier. No, the men have a Bulldog on one of their uniforms down on the shorts. So looks like both teams based on pictures I've seen of the men's team so far, they've switched some uniforms and getting to see the women's team here tonight. In opening action, Carpenter gets it back off the pass from Lawson. 5:18 to go. Top of the key. Crans drops it to Carpenter. 4 to shoot. Carpenter, quick work, gets it to Lawson. Pulls the jumper from behind the free throw line. Missed it. Carpenter just takes the offensive rebound away from Flowers. Good hustle there. And another timeout here by Coach Jason Smith. 32nd timeout. Lady Bulldogs leading at 65-45. We'll be right back. So out of back-to-back timeouts here after one offensive series. Offensive rebound pulled down by Carpenter. Lady Bulldogs then throw it away. Lawson threw it to Barry, but Barry had made a cut and threw it straight to the point defenders. 4:49 to go, 65-45. Wesleyan still in front by 20. Jumper by Wesley is off the mark, but she'll get called, or she'll get the foul called against Carpenter. Her second, team third of the quarter. Lady Bulldogs will be back in action here on Saturday afternoon when Life comes to town. Matchup there. It'll be a 2 o'clock start. As Wesley converts both at the line. 4:44 to play. Wesleyan men, after the road loss at Rio Grande in Ohio, 95-77, they'll be back in action at really a neutral site game on Friday. Tennessee Southern, 7 o'clock in the Chick-fil-A Classic, McKenzie, Tennessee. And then Bethel as well. We will not see them at home until Bryan comes to town November 22nd. The Wesleyan men are going to spend some time on the road. Lawson misses the shot inside. Wesleyan men will have Reinhardt on the road the 12th and Spartanburg Methodist, newcomer to the conference, on the 15th, and then Truett on the 19th. So they'll jump into some conference games, but all on the road. Inside, Nesbitt puts it back in after a couple of failed attempts. And so the lead for Tennessee Wesleyan has dwindled to a mere 16. But still, it's been the Lady Skyhawks with 4 straight points. 3-pointer airballed by Tennessee Wesleyan. Shot selection off the mark here in the last couple of minutes for the Lady Bulldogs. 3-pointer up, no good. Lindsay battling Flowers for the rebound. Ball tipped away. Lawson comes away with it. Doesn't have numbers, but she'll get a sidestep dribble. Layup no good, but she'll get 2 free throws coming her way. Lawson 5 of 6 on the evening there. This one's going to be on Fannin. Fannin, it's her first foul to go along with her 21.6 rebounds. Coach Smith talking to Jalea Lindsay, coaching her up over there, as Lawson does make the first one. Lawson's second one is in there, 67-49. As the youngsters in James L. Robb give the viral trend of the 6-7. Yes, Wesleyan has hit 67 points tonight. 49 for Point. Running layup no good. Inside, and Wesleyan looked like a clean block, but it's going to be Jalea Lindsay getting called for her third. That's just bad luck because that one looked clean the whole way as Flowers was trying to go up in like amongst a trio of Lady Bulldogs, and Lindsay had all ball there, but the call goes the opposite way. Flowers misses the first one, 3:10 to play. Johnson coming back to the scorer's table. And the free throw is good. 67-50. Fannin out. Take the leading scorer out for the post player here. Lady Bulldogs, Lawson and Lindsay with 16 points apiece. Jordan White with the ball out front, working there against Thomas. Thomas has been in foul trouble, so first action she's been in a while. Should gain 3 fouls pretty quickly. Drive here by Brown. Draws the contact foul here by Nesbitt. Nesbitt's going to pick up her third. And so it's going to be Cameron Brown to the line. First trip there tonight. Brown makes the first one. 2:52 to play. And the second one is good as well. Both teams just exchanging small runs here in the fourth and final quarter. And a turnover there by Wesley on the far side gives it to Tennessee Wesleyan. Inbounds coming from Brown, lobs it over to White, who will chase it down. Former high school teammates from Northview Academy there. Backcourt teammates. Berry with it, gets it left side to Lindsay. Lindsay drives, middle of the paint, ball fake out, layup is good, and the foul. Jalea Lindsay going to the strike for the and one opportunity. That one's going to be on Thomas, her fourth. Wesleyan's going to get number 13, Grace Phillips, the sophomore guard, also from Bradley Central, Cleveland, Tennessee, will check in. Ames looks like she's set to come in for Lindsay, but Lindsay misses it. But then the foul is committed, or it's going to be foul committed by Phillips on the rebound. 5 team fouls for both teams, so it'll be 2 shots here on out. And so Flowers will step to the line. 1 for 4 there tonight. 7 points, 7 rebounds. Misses the first one, 71-50. Wesleyan trying to end a 3-game slide against Point in the series that Wesleyan has the advantage 19-7 overall. But it has been a couple of years since these two teams have squared off. 71-51. Outside, Haynes takes it off the dribble, kicks it to Berry. She'll take the 3 in front of Johnson off the backside of the rim. Rebound collected by Nesbitt. Nesbitt gets it over to Donaldson. Donaldson going to push the pace. Wesleyan shooting 36% behind the arc. Point 36.8. Out of bounds off of Wesleyan's Brown. Number 0 for Wesleyan, 5'7" freshman guard Ella Cantor from Chattanooga, Tennessee, and Silverdale High School, or Silverdale Academy. We'll check in. Fannin back in here on the offensive end, replaces Nesbitt. Jalea Lindsay leads Lady Bulldogs with 18. 3-pointer up by Donaldson, no good. Johnson gets the rebound, travels with it. Walked all the way around the low block as Berry is applying the pressure there. 1:50 to go. Inbounds comes to White. She'll bring it up the near side of the floor, working against Donaldson, middle of the court now. No look pass out to Hames, had to regain the handle on it. Kicks it out over to Cantor. Cantor, left side it comes to Phillips, and they throw it away. Phillips started moving towards that top of the key, and it went left. So final minute and a half approaching here in the opening night for the Lady Bulldogs. Foul on the shot here, committed by White. It's going to be her second. Of course, the team in the double bonus anyway, or 5 fouls. Donaldson steps to the line. First trip there tonight. And she goes 1 of 2 at the line. 1:26 to play. Drive and dish. Phillips pulls up. Long 2. Doesn't get the rattle home. Ball tipped out and off of Johnson, out of bounds as Donaldson tried to save it. Good heads up play by Phillips, really, to try to tip that one out off of Johnson. So clock at 1:15, shot clock at 20. Barry gets it. A little head fake. Got a defender in the air. Now back to White it goes. White running layup, just too strong off the backboard and off the front of the rim. A drive by Fannin, gets into the near corner, gets double teamed there, and she steps out of bounds. Good pressure applied there by Cantor and Phillips in the corner. 59 seconds to go. Wesleyan's going to get number 11, Alexis Crans, in for Courtney Berry. Lob across the court to Hames, back over to White. White going to push the pace. Gets into the paint, kicks it over. Crans for the baseline jumper, it's good. Alexis Crans gets the Lady Bulldogs to 73 points. Quickly, Wesley trying to come back. Missed the shot, draws the foul though on the attempt. This one's going to be on Crans. Her first. 3 times now the Lady Bulldogs have led it by 21. Average winning by 12.8 here at home against the Lady Skyhawks. 10-2 overall against them here in James L. Robb. As Wesley does make the first one. Wesleyan 2-0 against them in the postseason, back when Point was part of the Appalachian Athletic Conference. Second free throw by Wesley is good. Controlling it, it's going to be Jordan White once again, the freshman out of Kodak, Tennessee. Drops it over to Phillips. She'll take the 3, missed it, knew it, so chases it down, but it's going to be collected there by Cantor. Lady Bulldogs with a fresh 20, and the game clock at 27 now. Cantor, a little running floater across the paint is good. 75-54. Here's Wesley trying to drive all the way in. She's going to draw the whistle. This one's going to be on Cran's second foul. So Nia Wesley at the line, 4 of 7 on the night. Makes the first one. 20-point game with 18 seconds exactly showing on the game clock. And 75-56. Wesleyan does not have to take a shot. We'll see if they can just hold it, although Donaldson applying a lot of pressure here with 10 seconds to go in a 19-point game. White just going to circle it away, and so the Lady Bulldogs are going to start their season with an opening win here at home on Dwayne Farmer Stan Harrison Court and take care of their former conference foe in Point University, who drops to 0-4 overall, and their first true road loss of the season. They were 0-2 at a neutral site and 0-1 at home. The Lady Bulldogs go to 1-0 here at home and start 2025-26 campaign with some momentum here after, again, they were in the conference championship last year against Milligan after finishing kind of middle of the pack, and that's where they're projected this year, is 6th spot out of 14, I believe it is. And Lady Bulldogs get started with a good home opening win here against Point. Then they had a game that was supposed to have been played on Saturday, got canceled, and so Lady Bulldogs get it started here on Wednesday night. They'll be back in action on Wednesday afternoon at 2 o'clock. We'll take a quick break and then bring you some final stats here from James Elrod. Back in just a moment. Back here on the Bulldog Digital Network, where the Lady Bulldogs get the opening win, 75-56, here against Point University. Lady Bulldogs do it behind the scoring of Jalea Lindsay, along with Tally Lawson and Leslie Hames. Leslie in her first game here at Tennessee Wesleyan. Jalea and Tally coming on board last year for the Lady Bulldogs. Jalea leads them with 18 points. She had 8 of 14 from the field, 2 of 6 from behind the arc, 4 rebounds as well, and 2 blocks on the evening. Tally Lawson, 16 points for her, along with 10 rebounds, 2 assists, and 1 block and 2 steals. And then Hames with 12 points. She was 4 of 8 from the field, 4 of 7 from behind the arc for 57%, 3 rebounds, 1 assist on the evening. Also scoring for the Lady Bulldogs, Sloan Carpenter with 8 points, 2 boards, 5 points, 3 boards, and 2 steals for Cameron Brown. Sloan Carpenter also had a block to her credit and a steal and an assist. 5 points by Courtney Berry as well with 2 rebounds, 3 points, 3 boards, and 4 assists by Jordan White and 2 steals. 2 points and a rebound for Ella Cantor, 2 points for Howard Kranz, and Long for the Lady Bulldogs. Long also pulling in 2 rebounds to her credit and an assist, and a couple of assists for Julia Howard. On Point side, it was Zariah Fannin with 21 points. She was perfect 2 of 2 from the line, 7 rebounds and a steal as well. On 5 of 12 from behind the arc, 7 of 17 from the field. Zariah Johnson with 14 points and 5 boards inside there. She shot 50% from the field. 8 points, 7 boards for Flowers, 6 points, 7 boards for Anaya Wesley, 3 points, 3 boards for Donaldson, 2 points for Annaline Clifton, and then 2 points, 4 boards by Madison Nesbitt for the Lady Skyhawks to round out their individual scoring. Tennessee Wesleyan as a team shoots 25 of 61, 40% from the field compared to the 31%, 18 of 58 for Point. 33% from behind the arc, 9 of 27, 36.8% from behind the arc for Point University. And then free throws, Wesleyan 84%, 16 of 19 on the free throws, and 59%, 13 of 22 for the Lady. Let's see, 13 of 22, 59% free throws for the Lady Skyhawks. And then total rebounds, it was 42-32 in favor of Point. And then turnovers, 16 apiece for both teams. Wesleyan does get 17 points off of the 16 turnovers. Point gets 13 off of the 16 turnovers by Tennessee Wesleyan. Lady Bulldogs with 4 blocks on the night, 7 steals, and 11 assists on 25 made shots. And we are pleased to be joined by Coach Jason Smith. And Coach, obviously you played, I think, a couple of exhibition games, but at least I know one at Tennessee Tech. But first night in action in regular season against a former opponent that you've seen for several years that used to be in the conference and Point, but you come out and handle business in convincing fashion here tonight.
I'm glad you say that. I'm not for sure it was convincing or not. Okay.
Well, I mean, a 20-point lead, hanging around 20-point lead most of the second half. But, I'm sure there's a lot.
Yeah, there's you know how it is. I've said this all along. As coaches, we're really greedy, right? Like, our girls did some things tonight that we liked, okay? I challenged them in halftime to play a little better defense in the second half, hold them to less than 15 points in the third quarter, and we did. We held them to 10. We just didn't score very well in the second half. I mean, I think offensively we we didn't quite gel, and we were a little out of sync and missed some wide open shots, And so offensively it was a little frustrating in the second half, but defensively I think we did some things in the second half that I liked.
And it looked like they were trying to work it into Johnson a lot. Flowers was kind of the post player in the first half, but then 24, Johnson with the size down there. They were trying to work it through her a lot, but it seemed like the double team worked a little bit better in the second half against her down there.
Yeah, it did. We made a little bit of adjustment at halftime, obviously, and at some point, we thought that she was going to miss enough shots that we were okay with it going in there. Sometimes we just really focus on when she misses it, we got to grab the rebound. And we did a good job of that until late in the fourth quarter. We started getting a little lazy off the rebounds, and they got a few putbacks and some fouls. That's why they scored 18 in the fourth. But so we figured that they have a little mismatch with us at that point. But I thought we had a mismatch on the other end at many times, and we just didn't take advantage of it. We didn't make enough shots, I don't think, to totally take advantage of it. If Courtney makes 1 or 2 more threes, it's not even close. And then. Leslie came in and went 4 for 7 from the 3, which she can do that, stretch the floor, and we need somebody to get hot. She got a little bit hot for us.
Obviously, I talked about this during the broadcast, but you're in your second year here at Tennessee Wesleyan, no stranger to the conference and the area, and I joke we've not really talked at all since last year. You said we got to get to Kingsport, and you did. You got 6 girls off of this team that were a part of last year's team that made the run in the conference tournament to the championship, losing in overtime to Milligan by 4. What has that been like from that transition now with those 6 players that have been here with you for 1 year, going from that championship game and the new faces? How has that transition been for you all?
I mean, the transition's been good. I mean, our group, they're fun to coach. They've been a good group. But every year you start at the bottom of the mountain, and the 6 have been there. Some of them played more than others, obviously. Right. And they're hungry. But again, trying to get the new ones to understand what that looks like it just takes time, Like last year, even though I had 7 seniors, it still took time to get culture and what they want, to see things flowing the way we wanted to have it flowing, and they caught fire at the right time. And I've been successful at Kingsport doing that, so I kind of know what we're doing on that end of the deal. So I have faith that by, February, March, these girls will figure it out, and there's so many signs that they will, right?
Right.
Tonight was another one where there's just so many signs. If all our girls are clicking like I know they can, that would have been a really entertaining basketball game. But it was a little frustrating because I just know the potential of what we have that's possible. So again, just being a little greedy.
You had 3 in double figures, led by Jalea Lindsay. She played a lot last year as a freshman out of Walker Valley and did really well for you. 18 points, 4 boards. Tally Lawson had a double-double tonight. When one of your point guards has got 10 rebounds, that's saying something about her hustle to crash the boards or maybe just catch some long rebounds. And then, as you mentioned, Leslie Hames with 12 points in her first regular season game here at Dwayne Farmer, knocking down 4 of 7 from behind the arc. So got to be pleased with the performance of those players.
Oh,
right
no
there.
doubt. I mean, Tally has really stepped up. She's really taken charge this year of knowing that she's got to do more and take more responsibility. And she's kind of I think she's trying to tone down some of her turnovers. You're always going to have one or two that's a little Tally-esque. But you know, like I said, Leslie coming off hitting some shots were big. And you know, a couple of other freshmen, you know, you look at the stats and you go, it maybe not be huge, but, you know, Cam finally had a decent game, I think, tonight. She did some things defensively and got some steals. You know, she had 4 turnovers at half and didn't have any in the second half. So she calmed that a little bit down, made some great decisions, and made some good steals and played some good defense. And then Jordan White came in off the bench. And
that's what I was going to talk about.
And just controlled the game in many ways. That kid, you know, that was my first recruit when we got here. It's like I knew we needed a point guard replacing Stone. And when I saw that kid the very first time, I said, that's our point guard. And we went hard after her. We were fortunate to get her. And then Sloan fell in our lap as well. And so Sloan's got a little bit more experience right now. But, you know, so we'll be able to play both of them together like we did tonight some.
I thought those were 2 good pickups right there. And watching, I watched Carpenter play, Sloan play at Bradley Central calling McMinn County games. And so I've seen her and what she can do in her high school days. But
they're just a little different players, right? You know, so Sloan's going to defend probably a little bit better than Jordan. Right now, Jordan as a freshman, she's starting to figure it out. Sloan's got probably a little better mid-range game, but Jordan's just Jordan just sees the floor.
That's what it looked like. She could just be in control. Didn't really look like a freshman all that much in a lot of some of the situations she was in. But
even when they were trying to press her, like she controlled the ball. You know, of course, there's a couple of times she may have made a bad decision, but that's freshman stuff. But at the same time, I felt like when she had the ball in her hand, we were in control, right? So that's a good feeling to have as a coach. So point guard wise, I like where we're at. Those 2 are, you know, going to be really good players for us, especially down the road.
Well, can't win them all if you don't win the first one. You take care of business here tonight. And as a coach will always say, I've never met a coach yet that does not find something to work on after a win, even if it is a 20-plus point night for most of the game. But obviously you got Life coming to town Saturday. What adjustments are you going to look for besides protecting the ball maybe a little bit more?
Yeah, Life's going to be a little tougher, I think, than Point, so it's going to be a really tough game. I mean, they're big, strong, a little bit more athletic. You know, they've had a little bit more success already this year than Point has. So we played them last year at their place, really close game, lost by 5, I think. So we'll get on the film room. You know, honestly, I haven't watched a lot of film on them, but I'll do that tomorrow, and we'll watch some film Friday and get prepped for them. But it's going to be a similar game. I mean, there's nothing like we're going to just drastically change this early. I mean, so we're just trying to get better and work on the things we got to get better, and hopefully those make results against somebody else, right?
Yep.
Again, like you said earlier, this whole prep is for Kingsport, right? So we're getting ready for Kingsport now. I know that sounds silly for most teams. Most teams aren't thinking about Kingsport, and that's maybe why they haven't had success there. Okay, but I'm literally every day I think about Kingsport because I absolutely love that place. So how are we going to be good at the right time at Kingsport, right?
Well, I'm a believer now because you said it multiple times to me last year. I was like, okay. And then we follow along from here in Athens, and it's like, okay, Coach was right. I believe him even more so now. So I knew the success you'd had, but seeing what you all were able to do last year, and I think was impressive and just awesome way to kind of make that run up there in Kingsport. And so
what's crazy, I still dream about it. Okay, so I still dream Abby Barr hitting the shot to actually win the game for us, right? So, and she missed it, but like she makes it every time in my dream, Jared. And then we go on to celebrate. But gosh dang it, then I wake up and I realize, no, that didn't happen.
Got to work harder for it this
year.
Got to
work hard for it again.
Yep. So. Well, Coach, congrats on the first win of the season. We'll be with you on Saturday.
All right, thanks, Jared.
Thank you. So Coach Smith with his ball club winning 75-56 here against Point. Again, they will be back in action here from James L. Robb on Saturday at 2 o'clock tip-off with Life, who they have played last year as well. But the Lady Bulldogs go 1-0 to start the season. Look to go 2-0 here on Saturday. Appreciate you tuning in here for Coach Jason Smith, our sports information director Chris Berry, and our statistician Jennifer Harrison, who ran that tonight. And 10 years ago gave us the option to start doing that when she was a sports information director, and so she helped start this Bulldog Digital Network coverage that we've been bringing now starting on our 10th year here for Tennessee Wesleyan Athletics. For everyone here from James L. Robb, appreciate you tuning in. We'll see you Saturday where the Lady Bulldogs look to go 2-0. But for everyone here on the Bulldog Digital Network, this is Jared Wright. Have a great night.